banks, this is my last slide because my 12 minutes are just up, have reacted to the truth coming out. They admit that they've been telling porkies, and now they propose to increase their power. So central bankers belatedly admit, oh, now that you've mentioned it, yes, banks create the money supply. So let's abolish that now. And also, by the way, let's abolish cash. So what should we do? Well, introduce digital cyber currency that central banks issue and control, and thereby gain total control over all economic transactions, decisions, and the whole lot you've just heard from the CEO of the GDI. So the greatest concentration of central banking power in history is really the bid they're aiming at. That's the central bank's goal. And of course, digital accounts of dissenters and regime critics could be switched off. It'd be very difficult to even purchase necessities. So this is an Orwellian dystopia of total control, the end of any freedoms. That's really what central banks are aiming at. Several central banks have, like the Bank of England, already prepared their microchip implant, RFID chip, to be implanted under your skin. And why is the sudden discussion about universal basic income from all the grassroots and inverted commas movements and billionaires? Oh, universal basic income is the bribe for you to accept the microchip. The overarching trend of the 20th century is concentration of power in the hands of the few. That's what we have to keep in mind. We have to work against this. We don't want to have these unaccountable central planners making decisions. We need decentralization, and the solution therefore is to maintain public money in the hands of local community banks, decentralize decision-making, give local people the power in the form of local public banks and local not-for-profit community banks. As I walked in, I was delighted to see.
Yep, we had it right. The name of this title said GMS was right. Shalom, first and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor as due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders, the apostles, the great millstone, blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Yeah, real quick, man. Speaking on central banks, speaking on the monetary system, they have what they call UBI, Universal Basic Income. They was trying to roll this out for a long time, and last year, actually, it was a proposal that everybody deal with a digital dollar wallet by January of this year, but that fell through allegedly. So now the system that's happening in the world, you have a reset of currencies and printing of a lot of money, which the more money you print, the more things are going to hyperinflate, which causes the prices of goods to go up because the money is being devalued. Okay, well, he mentioned the MOTB, all right, how the UK already have it ready to roll out. And I believe all these top governments are ready to roll this thing out, but it's just a matter of time of letting this whole thing play out and seeing the end game of it. But when that does happen, we know that the Lord is on his way, okay? Because the scriptures say, lift up your heads, our salvation is nearer than what we believed. So with that being said, man, you scoffers and you scorners, ain't too many people really scoffing about if that, what is the MOTB. They're not really saying anything about it anymore because it's being found out that that's what it was all along. So you got these guys out there that's part of these other Israelite groups. They're not really making a mention on it, but they're not apologizing, coming out by calling us false prophets, because you hear it from the horse's mouth that this is the case here. Okay, and I've even said it in a lot of my videos going into this particular subject that I believe they're going to implement that in some type of financial crisis. Makes a lot of sense because it's tying into what's happening now, and if that's the way you can buy and sell with digital currency down, it makes sense because right now it's not implemented. You still have cash in circulation. So in order for that to happen, you have to get rid of cash. And this is the reason why they continue to bail these particular corporations out. This is why they continue to print money at an all-time high, because it devalues the dollar even more. Okay, so anyway, I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But I was just looking up, it says the Shai desire and the stigma. As we know, the Zai, it goes into the what it looked like, the staff or the serpent of Asclepius, which is the Greek god of medicine. Okay, you got stigma, and then I believe the Zai also means like to X out. Like we went into that whole thing of Xing out the Messiah, the true followers, And that's been done here in Babylon the Great, you know, and it's coming back because we're getting our heritage back and we're actually breaking down the precepts according to the scriptures. You see what I'm saying? So this is their final attempt to X out the Messiah by sacking the temple, which is the spiritual temple, which is the men of the Lord you see it on the highways and the byways. Okay, each brother represents a particular stone in the Lord's structure if you be found to be fit. If your brick doesn't fit, then it's going to be technically thrown to the side and not used. So hopefully that the Lord has molded us into these perfect bricks to form this temple. Because like I said, this is what they're trying to X out. And that's the ultimate way of Xing out the Messiah, by hitting the temple. And that's what they're doing through the world's events. If you know what I mean. We've been reading about this shit for over a year and a half, every single day. And it's constantly been drawn to the people's minds. So that's the plan. All right. But matter of fact, let me get this precept. Salvation nearer than we believed. Romans 13:11. So this is the book of Romans 13. And I'm going to start in 11. It says, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than what we believe. So our salvation is a lot closer than what it was 2,000 years ago when this prophecy was actually written. Because now this video is not even a year old, I don't believe. You know, I mean, it's been in circulation for some time, but it didn't just come out yesterday, but it's not relatively old either. Okay, so if this is the plan and this is the end goal for the world's governments to establish the NWO, then how much more close are we at the end? All right, and this is going to be the new way. This is what's going to come about. You're not going to be able to go to stores. You're not going to be able to shop. You're not going to be able to eat, cars, work, none of these things unless you bow to this man. Okay, and the majority of you will bow. You got Israelites that's already bowing to the man. You know what I'm saying? And shit ain't even gotten all that bad yet for us here in Babylon. And yet men are already taking the bended knee approach. You know, didn't even give themselves or their congregation a fighting chance, but just went out and sold out without any type of fight. Question yourself, those are men you want to come under. But it says, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. It says here, the night is far spent and the day is at hand. The day of what? The day of the Lord. It says, and let us not therefore cast off the works of darkness, but let us put on the armor of light. Okay. Let us walk honestly as in a day, not in rioting or drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envying, but put on the Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, and make not provisions for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof, man. Because like I said, man, you got other groups out there. They're not even going into this information. Okay, they're not walking honestly. Okay, they're rioting. They're drunk off the philosophies of this world. Okay, they one-timing. They're strife and envying, like it was this brawl that broke out. I believe, what was it, last week or a few days ago? Brother uploaded a clip of a brawl out there breaking out. I think it was like out there in the West Coast. And then you had, I believe, a couple of members from the HOI camp. And I believe it was during their camp session that brawl broke out. And then you got like two of these guys in footage. Okay, and the scriptures say we're not supposed to be in that spirit. Now, I'm not saying that they were the ones that was out there brawling, but every time they're always around some controversy. There's always some controversy with them or Yohanan them for whatever reason. And I believe that a lot of these guys that call themselves Israelites are going to be used to demonize this man, to say that we're just this unscalable group that's out for trouble, and it's going to put a bad light on the Israelites. But that's all good, though, because that's how the Lord is going to work his miracles. Okay, that's how he's going to work his miracles, because it wouldn't be no point of him working miracles through us if we was just all safe and comfortable. It's the whole point of the miracle, to get us out of the situation. So you can expect spiritual power and healings and miraculous events. Like last night, I looked out the window, man. It was like 2 or 3 chariots in the sky. One looked like it was glittering red in the back. Like red and green, man, just in a cut, just sitting there watching. And I'm like, wow, the chariots are really watching. You know, the angels are really watching the earth. So that's another reason why, you know, through the spirit, we're going to be okay, because we got the angels. They're just watching us, man. You know, but it says here, the night is far spent. The day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off all the works of darkness, and let us put the armor of light okay, which is this truth, this understanding, this wisdom, walking in the spirit and just, just chilling, man, just sitting back and watching. All right, don't be like these other guys out here that's doing too much, because, hey, them the ones that's going to get caught out there. All right, so let's go to Matthew's, I think it's in Luke, Matthew's 24. Yep, let's go to the book of Matthew's 24, and I'm going to start at verses 32. It says, "Now learn the parable of the fig tree. When the branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise ye, when you shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors." You see? So these articles, these particular prophecies, these news clippings, etc., men like this even blowing a whistle on themselves, this is all telling us that we're at that time, and we just have to be patient and let it come to pass. All right. And it says here, "Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till these things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away." Okay, so I'm going to look at the precept in Mark 13th chapter. Yep, same thing, man. And actually, this was the one I was looking for when it says here, verses 35. But I'm going to start at 34. It says, "For the Son of Man is as a man taking a far journey, who left his house and gave authority to his servants, to every man his work, and commanded the porter to watch." That's us, okay? We're the servants. We have authority over the Lord's house right now until he comes back. That's why it says, "Occupy until I come." It says, "The porter to watch. Watch ye therefore, for you know not when the master of the house cometh, at evening or at midnight, or in the cock crowing, or in the morning, lest suddenly he find you sleeping. And what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch." And a lot of you Israelites have dropped the ball, man. A lot of you are not watching. Okay? A lot of you are not watching, man. You're not even going into this information. You're so hell-bent on telling the sisters on how to wrap a scarf. You got men out there fighting over women. Man, there's so much shit to be worried about than that. We already understand with the 12 tribes of Israel. We've done that breakdown on the tribe sign years ago, man. If Jake don't get that, then that's their problem. We're focusing on the prophecies, man. That's the greater good. Go into this information. Why nobody going into, the what this man is talking about? Nobody's even talking about that but us, which makes it more easier for us to get on them chariots, man, because, hey, the Lord said the man will be occupied in prophecy. And if you look at our doctrine, it's 90% prophecy. That's all we talk about. Yeah, we go into history, we go into the Hebrew, we go into all types of information, but overall, it all circumvents back into the word of prophecy, man. All prophecy, baby. You got the same precept in Luke 17, 26, 34, 21 through 34 through 36. Let me get another precept here. There's a couple of precepts I actually wanted to go into. But this is just plain as day. Revelation 13 and 15, it says, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many would not worship the image should be killed." Now, right now, we're in the image. The image is being the one that's being perpetuated right now. All right, that's what you heard about in the news. Everybody is going to and fro. You go to the stores, jobs, people walking away from their particular employment opportunities because of certain things that's being put on the forefront, etc. These are the things that it's talking about. Okay, and people were already bending the knee to that. So how much more when the real deal comes? Because when they promote that, you're already going to have mass death and mass judgment and mass chaos in the streets of Babylon. You know what I'm saying? So when this comes, that's how you know the missiles are coming shortly thereafter. But before this even comes, you're going to have a military build up, because they're going to need somebody or somehow to push that. And when you already got people in the net, shit ain't nothing to threaten them. Hey, you better take this, or, it is what it is. That's why a lot of these concentration camps in the form of Walmarts are being opened up. A lot of remodeling, a lot of underground work. Okay, a lot of Walmarts are being cleared out, and you notice that a lot of the Walmarts, they're not even restocking their shelves for real. Like I was in one a couple of days ago, and they had a relatively good amount of food, but certain shit they're not putting back out there. Okay, so it's just like, okay, just a matter of time before they close these joints down, you know. But we'll see how it plays out. And it says, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. We know what that is, the charagma, the crocs. It says that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark or the number of the beast or the number of his name. It says, here's wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 score and 6. Shai, Zai, and stigma. Okay, the number of a man. The universal product code. Okay, the 666. All right, so just keep that in mind, brothers. One precept here, and we're going to end it. Like I said, we're not going to be all long-winded on these videos anymore. We're just going to get to the point and cut it. All right, Ezekiel 33 and 33, it says here, and when it's come to pass, lo, it will come, then they should know that a prophet had been among them. So anyway, I'm going to end it there, giving all praises and glory.